Assalamu alaikum, Sajano te Mitro. As you know, I have been uploading my conversations of WhatsApp group on YouTube and Facebook. Uh, I haven't recorded any, you know, proper talks or lectures on multiple subjects associated with nationalism because I am quite busy in penning down my book. Anyhow, some of the current developments compelled me to give some talks on very sensitive issues which pertain to Punjabi and Punjab. In my previous talk, I spoke about the topmost three enemies. Let me repeat the categories of those three enemies. The primemost enemy of Punjab and Punjabi is state. Since the fall of Punjab in 1849, when it was annexed with British Empire, UPITN bureaucracy replaced Punjabi with Urdu by burning the Punjabi Qaidas and announcing a reward of 6 annas for depositing a copy of Punjabi Qaida and 2 annas for uh, you know some depositing any weapon to the government officials. So in this way, the annihilation of Punjabi language was started, and a dead language which neither provides bread and butter nor it imparts education, particularly the modern science and technology education, was imposed on Punjab so that its coming generations may get retarded and disconnected from its roots and history. At the same time, with the emergence of Pakistan, the Mutala Pakistani narrative, which is completely cock and bull stories, were, you know, injected in Punjabi's upcoming generations, and this state, you know, social engineering, state-based social engineering is still underway. In in this regard, Punjabi language, which is centuries, or even if you try to uh, explore the traces of this language, it goes back to the Harappan civilization, which is uh, around 5,000 years old, more than 5,000 years old civilization. So that those there was a fear among state elite, ruling elite, that they wouldn't get easily successful in routing out this language altogether, and a retaliatory uh, mm, a movement may start, and which would lead towards our masses revolution, nationalist revolution, in not only in Punjab but also in the rest of whole Pakistani Federation, because in other national entities already the nationalist sentiment existed and was present with strong basis. So there was definitely a chance that if nationalist Punjabi nationalism emerged, it would have a natural synchronization with the other nations' national movements. So the exploiters on the hem of affairs, in terms of UPITians and their, fifth columnist colleagues from all the nations, would be removed, and definitely they wouldn't have any more chance to de facto rule or loot the native nations of this federation. So Punjab was basically the major or epicenter where from any revolution may start. That's why, keeping in view this menace, state launched another proxy movement in which some of the southern Lahanda dialects of Punjabi were painted as a separate language of Upper Sindh, language of Upper Sindh, which is called, which is in Sindh, which is called as Saraiki. Now they give it another name with this Siroli. So this was the whole strategy, that the Punjabi nationalist movement could be undermined before its emergence, and any demand for the implementation of Punjabi as the integral part of curricula or besides medium of instruction at primary levels may be counted within the Punjabi, within the ethnic and linguistic segment of Punjabi society. So this on this we could speak for hours and hours. So far, I am trying to highlight the three major enemies. So the state, which launched this movement by creating, by stigmatizing Punjabi on one hand, and disconnecting Punjabi masses from their roots, from their history, from their ethos and heroes, created a vacuum in Punjab. So that identity crisis was, prevailing among Punjabi masses due to this reason. So this identity crisis created a vacuum. In South Punjab, that vacuum was filled with a pseudo identity by the very state propaganda. Multiple print and electronic media groups, they launched a propaganda campaign by writing scores of articles in this regard, and they twisted Punjab's history, Punjab's Punjabi language, the literature of Punjabi language. Not only it was twisted, but also distortions were made and fabrications were at the same time done. And by digging the first hand sources, one could easily find out the truth that everything which was painted with Saraiki is in fact Punjabi, whether those are dialects or the writers or the symbols of culture. Everything was considered just yesterday as Punjabi. So state is still busy in doing so, and we could see Cook, Wasep, and Rohi and multiple TV channels, radio bands, and mm, separately telecasting and you know airing the same propaganda of state. So this propaganda is in addition to that propaganda which Urdu and English media is spreading just to counter the same Punjabi nationalist sentiment for the benevolence of the ruling elite. So, the first and foremost enemy who is against Punjab and Punjabi is the state or the people running the state. Second enemy, which I mentioned in the previous talk, are the Pathan, Sindhi, Baloch hybrid settlers. Sindhi Baloch hybrid, ethnically, who those people who hail basically from Sindh and Balochistan, they and the Pathans who invaded this region with the Mughals or Britishers, and they gradually settled in this region, and their progenies now are busy in enhancing the state narrative against Punjab, and we could see that more than 90% people are ethnically Baloch. So those Baloch people who are running this campaign are in fact equally dangerous for the unity of Balochistan and Baloch nation, because they are on the payroll of establishment who definitely want to crush the Baloch nationalist movement in Balochistan for their ulterior motives. So they have been given a free hand in Punjab with a pledge to support, to seek their support, to render their support to render their services, rather to crush the Baloch nationalist movement and creating divisions in Sindh. The whole purpose is to completely counter the genuine national question of this federation, and creating by carving out small small pockets in terms of provinces on the basis of ethnic and linguistic grounds, and finally make them desperate to become bigger, to become so much confused and seek asylum in under the Mutala Pakistaniyat, in which the whole control would be in the hands of UPITians, and they would only decide the fate of our new generations. So these two enemies I described in detail in my previous talk, and in this beginning here I have again explained, tried to explain them in detail. But the third enemy, which I term as the most dangerous enemy within any nation, are the fifth columnists. Those people who are based in Punjab, who are from Punjabi nation, and those Punjabi local tribes, whether those are Jat, or Rains or Rajputs or Gujjars or Awans or whatever, clans or brotherries are based in the whole natural geographical boundaries of Punjab, and whatever dialect they speak. Among those people, those the ones who are indulged in the seditious activities against own Punjab and Punjabi, they are far more dangerous than the any Pathan, Sindhi, Baloch settler or the pseudo Arab, these Makhtums and these Gilanis. They are much more dangerous than those people. Why they are more dangerous? Because, and particularly the ones who are based in Lahore, because Lahore is the capital of Punjab, and whatever acts are done from Lahore, those are supposed to be the acts of Punjabis. However, it is not so, because the a little elite, as per Karl Marx rules, is always based upon the haves, and the majority is consisted upon have nots. So haves always look forward for their vested interests. The ruling elite of Punjab, whether that is present in military establishment or play the role of their stooges in so-called political parties, they damn care about the interest of Punjab, Punjabi or Punjabis. Their kids are settled abroad in Europe and America or Canada or in Australia, and whatever they plunder here, they loot the wealth of ours through corruption. They send it to send it abroad to their kids, and their whole stakes are outside. So they just come here, or they just visit us for like a hunter who who visits some national park for hunting the their praise. So this is the ironic situation of Punjab, that here there is because there is no there isn't any presence of nationalist sentiment, Punjabi nationalist sentiment in Punjab, who could look after, who could protect the fundamental rights of Punjabis, and as well as who could who could enforceably question someone to not to plunder the flora and fauna and the other resources of Punjab's. So that's why, due to having no check, these people are having a free hand to rape the whole land of five rivers. They are themselves not only raping this land and the whole region, but also getting it raped by the outsiders as well. So this ruling elite is the topmost. If we further classify the fifth columnists, they are the topmost. They are among them the one of them. The second is the intellectuals. I mean, the second part of them are the intellectuals or the thinkers or writers. They they themselves have been, serving them, and uh, for their they get the reward of their intellect by writing and speaking in favor of their rulers, their ruling elite. So, among those writers and thinkers in Punjab, there is a small category of Punjabis, because majority of them write in Urdu, or very minor segment of them is the segment writes in English. So, a very minute uh, category of them writes or are associated with the Punjabi. Those minute or minor so those minute writers or thinkers who are associated with the Punjabi or Punjabi literature or Punjabi media, they are in fact the actual people from where demand or where from change could come in Punjab, which could lead to the uh, emergence of Punjabi nationalism in Punjab. So that those people, that segment, are very rare among them. We could count their names. They literally played a honest role for the for launching a Punjabi nationalist movement in Punjab. Among them were the the people whom we could name are like the ex prime governor of Punjab, Hanif Rame, who wrote a very good book, Punjab Ka Muqaddama. After that, we see Shafqat Tanveer Mirza Sahab, who though didn't take part in launching any nationalist struggle, yet his contribution were colossal in terms of countering the state as attack on Punjab and Punjabi, where he wrote scores of articles and defended his motherland and mother tongue. The other third name which comes in our mind and which we see is Nazir Kahoot. Nazir Kahoot Saab not only wrote some of the books are which narrate the miseries of Punjabis in Sindh, but also he tried to stir the nationalist sentiment in Punjab, and he practically, I would say, was the first person who launched a Punjabi struggle in on ground in Lahore. He was the first person who literally brought writers and thinkers on streets of Lahore for to protest against the state brutalities and for demanding the fundamental rights of Punjabis, particularly language, for the introduction of language in education curricula. So, besides demanding education, Punjabi in education, he also raised the voice against the division of Punjabi and Punjab. And still, he is busy in his, great endeavor. After that, particularly with the introduction of social media and specifically Facebook, including myself, we see scores of honest souls who had been busy in serving their motherland and mother tongue in Punjab, and due to them, we could see that major change is major change could be felt in the in the social fabric of Punjab. So, having seen it, those people who had always been stabbing in the Punjab and Punjabis back by sporting the state narrative uh, before 47 or after 47, particularly the ones who were busy in the garb of Punjab and Punjabiyat. uh, they they had been they had been paving the way for the uh, unchecked rule of ruling elite in Pakistan. So these people realized the actual threat, and they started to hijack the Punjabi nationalist struggle by uh, leading from the front. In fact, their petty vested interests and their incapability regarding the cognizance of Punjab and Punjabiyat is enough to expose them before the common Punjabis. Those people, these stooges of establishment, they they are completely oblivion towards the dynamics of this federation. Not to speak of the other three provinces, even they don't know the geography or demography and the linguistic details of southern, northern, and the trespassed Punjab in KPK. That's why whenever, because I in my previous talk explained that they are busy in enhancing the state narrative in by sporting the Khalistan movement on the one hand, and showing the dreams to the common Punjabis for a greater Punjab, and on the same hand they are busy in launching a mm, campaign through which they support the division of Punjabi and Punjab by demoralizing the youth which is now as a voluntarily associated with the Punjabiyat on social media. So what their criminal act is, we have to understand it. They run multiple YouTube and Facebook pages through which they earn capital. So for doing so, they always uh, make their links with the Khalistanis, I mean Sikhras, whether in India or in Europe. And you could see their pages, multiple pages. Their pages are hashtagged with those Sikhras, and by doing so they get maximum following in this regard, so that they may earn more and more bucks from the YouTube or Facebook. They don't realize that this act of theirs is such a disgraceful and mm, despicable crime that is impardonable, because these people, you know, further stigmatize Punjabi in the common masses of Punjab who are having the religious sentiment. And they, whenever the common people, they listen that these the Punjabi or Punjabiyat means to have links or to develop links with the non-Muslim Punjabis, particularly Sikhs and Hindus in Indian controlled Punjab. So they dislodge themselves from this movement or struggle. They think that it is anti-Islam and anti-Pakistan. So this is the basic damage which these crooks have been committing through their criminal acts, just for the sake of few pennies. And they don't realize, and they never realize that it it would be so catastrophic for the unity of Punjab in Pakistani state, and it would never become popular among the masses. But as I mentioned, that they like their masters in on the hem of affair. They don't have any sympathies with their motherland or mother tongue. They are just pimping for their own lust. They are getting their mother pimped for quenching their unlimited thirst. That's why I always term them far more sinking than the those compelled sex workers who are associated with this business due to some compulsions, particularly the state's negligence. Otherwise, they are morally far better than these immoral assholes. These people, they if they were present in some other nations like in Baloch, they would be targeted primarily, because every nation realizes that such peoples are nothing short of you know cancer of their nationalist body, nationalist soul, and by getting rid of these such such crap, they are they could become healthy. So here I would like to mention a recent development after that, which I thought that I should make another voice clip. Is that I was haphazardly, you know, uh, invited on a live conversation where I saw some of the self proclaimed such Punjabi writer and thinkers talking about the development of Punjabi in Pakistan. So those that page and those people, they were speaking the same, Urdabi sort of Punjabi, which I mean, if you see a Sindhi or Baloch speaking writer particularly or thinker speaking their defunct Sindhi or Balochi, he would be criticized or he would be removed by their own people. Here people were sitting and representing Punjabi. They, if you listen or watch their clip, you would find that they are speaking a typical Urdabi sort of Punjabi, which has nothing to do with the the classical Punjabi of any one of the classical writers of Punjab. The reason is that they have monopolized Punjab and Punjabi within two or three cities. Particularly these merchants of Punjabi who are based in Lahore. These few people, you could find on any forum with the people from Sahiwal or Faisalabad or some other small towns or cities. Their Punjabi is even not equal to the, or it can't we can't match it with the Majha dialect of Punjabi, because Majha itself is a very beautiful dialect. And while listening while listening this dialect, one could enjoy the taste, or its fragrance, or its its flavor could be enjoyed by anybody. But neither it is Maja nor some other dialect. So these crooks, they assume their language as Punjabi. And if you see the same page, like other pages I mentioned, that is linked with the Indian Punjabis. And the Punjabi Sikh diaspora settled in Europe, America, and Canada. So they are linked with those people. And the ones who are sitting over there, they only talk about the Punjabis associate linkages with the Eastern Punjab or Chadda Punjab. And they think that Punjabi means to speak about some of the stereotype of those people who have, or who had never raised their voice against the state oppression, or state I would say terrorism against Punjab and Punjabi, who never protested that why Punjabis are not being given their fundamental right to seek education in their own language. They never launched any campaign against the hegemony of state sponsored hegemony of adult language Urdu. So they were rather busy in uh, consolidating the hegemony of the alien language, so that the narrative of UPITians may take may spread in every organ of Punjabi society, and Punjabi could never get cured. So whatever I watched on that page, the same was expect the same whatever was expected. I watched and I saw on that page. So it was quite interesting and hilarious to listen to them speaking about Punjab and Punjabi. I would like to point out here the, one of the topmost uh, stooges of that cartel, who is rather competent among those all incompetent, inadequate, uh, you know, inadequate morons of the cartel, who was speaking nonsense. He raised 6 or 7 points, and I would like to show you first of all his views, and one by one I would comment upon them.
बिस्मिल्लाह सूफी साहब।
नहीं इन्हें वेले च मुकानी है। शुक्रिया दोस्तों। पहली गल तो यह है कि थोड़ी जी मैनू हमेशा मैं दोस्त नाराज हो जाते हैं मेरी गल तो, लेकिन वो मेरे को रहा भी नहीं जाता, पास भी नहीं आ जाता मेरे को। थोड़ा जिहा तारीख नूं घुमण साहब बैठे ने इत्थे अजकल मुश्ताक भट्ट साहब दूसरा जी बड़ी चर्चा हो रही है। ये बड़ी अच्छी गल है मुश्ताक भट्ट साहब की जिहड़ी कंट्रीब्यूशन सी पंजाबी तहरीक दे विच, ਉਹਦੇ 'ਚ कोई इनकार नहीं है। मैं गवर्नमेंट कॉलेज लाहौर ही सां जदों वो ये कर रहे सन, उस तो बाद फिर असीं थोड़ा बहुत लिखना भी शुरू कर ਰਿਹਾ भी हो जाए, लेकिन तारीख की वड्डी पिक्चर नूं भुलना नहीं चाहिए।
सर थोड़ा जिहा माइक नूं नेड़े कर लो तो तुहाडी आवाज मुश्ताक सूफी साहब जरा घट आ रही है, समझण विच प्रॉब्लम आ रहा थोड़ा जिहा।
चलो कोशिश करना उच्चा बोलण दी। मैं अर्ज कर रहा सा कि जिन्हां लोकां ने पंजाबी तहरीक हिस्सा लिया है उन्होंने याद रखना बड़ा जरूरी है, लेकिन पूरी तारीख नूं याद रखिए, अधूरी तारीख नूं ना। अगर कोई बंदा ये समझदा है साडे चों कि किसी एक बंदे की वजह तो पंजाबी शोभा बनिया या पंजाबी का कोई राइट 70 के दहाके मनिया, तो मेरा ख्याल है वो सही गल नहीं होएगी, ना वो सही है ना वो फबदी है। क्योंकि उस तो पहले 70 तो पहले 47 तो बाद एक लंबी लाइन है स्ट्रगल की, जिहदे विच शरीफ कुंजाई साहब, अहमद राई साहब, नजम हुसैन सैयद, शफकत तनवीर मिर्जा, राजा रसालू, आसफ खान सफदर मीर और होर बहुत सारे लोग शामिल सन उस दे विच। और मजलिस शाह हुसैन भी बैन हुई, तहरीकां भी इन्हां बैन होईयां, इंटैलीजेंस हमेशा इन्हां दे पिछे रही, किताबां इन्हां दीयां बैन होईयां। इस जदों नां लेना पंजाबी दा या वो इंडिया का एजेंट करार पांदा सी या सोवियत यूनियन का, सो इस वास्ते उहदे पिछे फरीद अनुलग फरीद कोटी इस सारे बंदे शामिल सन। सिर्फ ये नहीं है कि मुश्ताक भट्ट या कोई और बंदा अचानक पैदा हो गया कि सारा कुछ हो गया। सो तारीख नूं प्रॉपर याद रखना चाहिए। ये किसी एक बंदे के नां दा लाइए, किसी एक बंदा नां नहीं लै सकते। ये सब दी पंजाबी लिखारियां दी, पंजाबी एक्टिविस्टां दी एक बड़ी स्ट्रगल सी 47 तो बाद, जिहदे नतीजे तौर पर अगर कोई थोड़ा बहुत पंजाबी नूं हक मिलिया है तो वो सब दे सांझे काम की वजह तो मिलिया, किसी एक बंदे वजह नहीं मिलिया। पहले गल ਸੋ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖੋ ਬੰਦਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਇੰਜ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ ਦੂਜੇ ਬੰਦਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੱਢ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖੋ, ਉਹ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖੋ, ਉਸ ਵੱਡੀ ਤਸਵੀਰ ਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਭੁੱਲੋ। ਤੋ ਦੂਸਰਾ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵੀ 70 ਦੀ ਦਿਹਾਈ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਸਲਨ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਡਿਪਾਰਟਮੈਂਟ ਕਾਇਮ ਹੋਇਆ, ਰੇਡੀਓ ਤੇ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਏ, ਟੈਲੀਵਿਜ਼ਨ ਤੇ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਏ, ਉਸ ਦੀ ਵਜ੍ਹਾ ਇੱਕ ਫੈਕਟਰ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਸੂਝਵਾਨਾਂ ਦਾ, ਲਿਖਾਰੀਆਂ ਦੀ ਤਹਿਰੀਕ ਸੀ। ਦੂਜਾ ਫੈਕਟਰ ਇਸ ਮੁਲਕ ਦੇ ਔਰ ਬੈਨ ਅਲ-ਅਕਵਾਮੀ ਹਾਲਾਤ ਸਨ। ਉਹ ਸੀ ਪੀਪਲਸ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਰਿਪਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਟ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ ਸੀ ਨਵੇਂ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਐਸਪੀਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ, ਔਰ ਉਹ ਪੀਪਲਸ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦਾ ਕ੍ਰੈਡਿਟ ਜਾਂ ਭੁੱਟੋ ਔਰ ਉਹਦੇ ਸਾਥੀਆਂ ਦਾ ਇਹ ਕ੍ਰੈਡਿਟ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਜ਼ਮਾਨੇ 'ਚ ਆ ਕੇ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨੀ ਜ਼ੁਬਾਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਰਵੱਈਆ ਰਿਆਸਤ ਦਾ ਬਦਲਿਆ। ਸਿਰਫ ਇਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਨਹੀਂ, ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨੀ ਜ਼ੁਬਾਨਾਂ ਬਾਰੇ। ਉਰਦੂ ਅੰਗਰੇਜ਼ੀ ਤੇ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਿਰ ਤੇ ਸਵਾਰ ਸਨ ਨਾ, ਉਹ ਤੇ ਮੁਕੱਦਸ ਨੇ, ਕੋਈ ਇੰਗਲੈਂਡ ਤੋਂ ਆਈ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਯੂਪੀ ਤੋਂ ਆਈ ਤੇ ਮੁਕੱਦਸ ਨੇ, ਲੈ ਕੇ ਦੋਵੇਂ ਅੰਗਰੇਜ਼ ਆਏ ਸਨ। ਲੇਕਿਨ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨੀ ਜ਼ੁਬਾਨਾਂ ਦਾ 70 ਦੀ ਦਿਹਾਈ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਕੋਈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੰਨਣਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਇਆ। ਇਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੇਖੋ ਇਦਾਰੇ ਬਣੇ, ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਇਦਾਰੇ ਬਣੇ ਇਸਲਾਮਾਬਾਦ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਅਕੈਡਮੀ ਆਫ ਲੈਟਰਸ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਲੋਕ ਵਿਰਸੇ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਉਹ ਤੇ ਸਿੰਧ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਣੇ, ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਣੇ ਔਰ ਇੱਥੇ ਡਿਪਾਰਟਮੈਂਟ ਬਣਿਆ ਗਿਆ। ਇਹ ਓਵਰਆਲ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇੱਕ ਵਿਜ਼ਨ ਸੀ, ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਖਾਹਿਸ਼ਾਂ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਐਸਪੀਰੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਰਿਫਲੈਕਟ ਹੋਣ ਹਕੂਮਤ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਨਵੇਂ ਨਿਜ਼ਾਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਇਹ ਉਹਦੀ ਰਿਫਲੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਮੁਕਾਮੀ ਜ਼ੁਬਾਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਮੰਨਿਆ ਗਿਆ। ਉਹਦਾ ਕ੍ਰੈਡਿਟ ਪੀਪਲਸ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਭੁੱਟੋ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ, ਮਹਿਜ਼ ਲਿਖਾਰੀਆਂ ਦਾ ਮਸਲਾ ਨਹੀਂ, ਓਵਰਆਲ ਤਾਰੀਖੀ ਹਾਲਾਤ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਾਸ ਮੰਗਾਂ ਪੂਰੀਆਂ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਬਾਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ। ਇਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਇਹ ਸਾਰੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕੰਪਲੈਕਸ ਪਿਕਚਰ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਿਹਨੀ ਰੱਖਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਫਿਊਚਰ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਪਲਾਨ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਪਿਛਲੀ ਤਾਰੀਖ ਦਾ ਪਤਾ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ। ਨੰਬਰ 3, ਇਹ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੀ ਗੱਲ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ ਦੋਸਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਮਾਫ ਕਰਨਾ, ਇਹ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਤੇ ਮੁੱਕ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ। ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ, ਇੰਝ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ, ਇੰਝ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ। ਭਾਈ ਤਾਰੀਖ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਟੁਰਦੀ, ਤਹਿਰੀਕਾਂ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਟੁਰਦੀਆਂ। ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਹਿੱਸਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਆਈਡੀਅਲਿਸਟਿਕ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਆਬਜੈਕਟਿਵ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ। ਤਾਰੀਖਾਂ ਟੁਰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਠੋਸ ਡਾਇਨਾਮਿਕਸ ਕੀ ਨੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਪੋਲਿਟਿਕਸ ਤੇ, ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸਮਾਜੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੁਹਰਕਾਤ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਸਿਰ ਤੇ ਟੁਰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਖਾਲੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੀ ਸਦਰ ਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਟੁਰਦੀ ਤਾਰੀਖ। ਹੁਣ ਇਹ ਆਖਣ ਕਿ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਇਹ ਹੋਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ, ਰੇਡੀਓ 'ਚ ਇਹ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ, ਤਫਾਨਾ ਇਹ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ। ਭਾਈ ਜੇ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਨ ਵਾਲਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ, ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਨੂੰ ਚਾਹਣ ਵਾਲਾ ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ, ਕਿਸੇ ਦਾ ਸਿਰ ਫਿਰਿਆ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕਾਲਜ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਾਗੂ ਕਰੇ, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਕੂਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਾਗੂ ਕਰੇ, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਰੇਡੀਓ ਤੇ ਲਿਆਵੇ, ਬਲਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੌਜੂਦ ਹੈ ਮਸਲਨ ਟੀਵੀ ਦਾ ਕੋਟਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਪੂਰਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ। ਇਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕਿ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਦਰਦ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਉਸਦਾ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਜਨਰਲ ਮੈਨੇਜਰ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਹੋਗਾ, ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਮੈਨੇਜਰ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਹੋਏਗਾ, ਰੇਡੀਓ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਮੈਨੇਜਰ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਹੋਏਗਾ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਉਹ ਕੋਟਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਆ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਪੂਰਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ। ਇਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕਿ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਉਹਦਾ ਅਹਿਸਾਸ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਕੋਈ ਐਸਾ ਹੱਕ ਹੈ ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਪੂਰਾ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਕਹਿਣ ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਦੋ ਲੈਵਲ ਨੇ, ਇੱਕ ਹੈ ਕਲਚਰਲ ਲੈਵਲ ਹੈ ਅਵੇਅਰਨੈਸ ਪੈਦਾ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਆਮ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਆਪਣੀ ਜ਼ੁਬਾਨ, ਆਪਣੀ ਤਾਰੀਖ ਔਰ ਉਸਦੇ ਰੋਲ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਝਣ। ਨੰਬਰ 2, ਇਹਨੂੰ ਸਿਆਸੀ ਇਸ਼ੂ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਦਾ ਮਸਲਾ ਹੈ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਦਾ ਮਸਲਾ ਖਰਾਬ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੈ 19ਵੀਂ ਸਦੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅੰਗਰੇਜ਼ਾਂ ਦੇ ਆਉਣ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ, ਕਾਨੂੰਨੀਗਿਰੀ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ, ਉਹ ਸਿਆਸੀ ਫੈਸਲਾ ਸੀ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਜ਼ੁਬਾਨ ਲਾਗੂ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾਏਗੀ। ਇਹ ਸਿਆਸੀ ਫੈਸਲਾ ਸੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਲੋਨੀਅਲ ਇੰਤਜ਼ਾਮੀਆ ਨੇ ਕੀਤਾ ਔਰ ਉਸ ਤੇ ਡਿਬੇਟ ਵੀ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਜੋ ਹੁਣ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਰਹਿਮਾਨ, ਤਾਰਿਕ ਰਹਿਮਾਨ ਦੀ ਕਿਤਾਬ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਡਾਕੂਮੈਂਟ ਵੀ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤੀ। ਉਹ ਸਾਰੀ ਡਿਬੇਟ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਸਿਆਸੀ ਫੈਸਲਾ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਲਾਗੂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨੀ, ਉਰਦੂ ਔਰ ਅੰਗਰੇਜ਼ੀ ਲਾਗੂ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ। ਅੰਗਰੇਜ਼ੀ ਉਤਲੇ ਤਬਕੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ, ਉਤਲੇ ਮੇਲ ਵਾਸਤੇ, ਔਰ ਉਰਦੂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬਾਕੀ ਆਮ ਮੇਲ ਨੇ, ਦਰਮਿਆਨਾ ਮੇਲ ਹੈ, ਥੱਲੇ ਵਾਲਾ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਇਹ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਔਰ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਜ਼ੇ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਪੁਆਇੰਟ ਆਫ ਵਿਊ ਸੀ ਅੰਗਰੇਜ਼ਾਂ ਦਾ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਜਨਾਬ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਲਾਗੂ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਹੈ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਆਈਡੈਂਟੀਟੀ ਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਕਰਵਾਉਣਾ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ ਸਿਆਸੀ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਨੁਕਸਾਨਦੇਹ ਹੋਏਗਾ। ਸੋ ਆਖਣ ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਹੈ ਪਹਿਲਾ ਇਹ ਸਿਆਸੀ ਫੈਸਲਾ ਸੀ ਜਿੱਥੋਂ ਇਹ ਕੰਮ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਇਆ ਕਿ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਖੋਈ ਗਈ। ਨੰਬਰ 2, ਦੂਜਾ ਵੀ ਸਿਆਸੀ ਫੈਸਲਾ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਸੀ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਦੀ ਤਹਿਰੀਕ, ਉਰਦੂ ਦਾ ਰੋਲ, ਫਿਰ ਨਜ਼ਰੀਆ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ, ਫਿਰ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਦਾ ਜੋ ਸੀ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਜੀ ਜੁਗਰਾਫੀਆਈ ਸਰਹੱਦਾਂ, ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਰਦੂ ਨੂੰ ਔਰ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਨੂੰ ਇਕੱਠਾ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ। ਔਰ ਮਜ਼ੇ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਇਲਾਕੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਬਣਾਇਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਜ਼ੁਬਾਨਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਸਨ ਉਹ ਕਾਫਰ ਜ਼ਬਾਨਾਂ ਬਣ ਗਈਆਂ, ਔਰ ਉਹ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣਿਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਜ਼ੁਬਾਨਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਮੁਕੱਦਸ ਔਰ ਇਸਲਾਮੀ ਜ਼ੁਬਾਨਾਂ ਬਣ ਗਈਆਂ ਔਰ ਇਹ ਅਜੇ ਤੱਕ ਚੱਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਜੀ ਔਰ ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਪੰਜਾਬੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਮੰਨ ਲਿਆ ਔਰ ਅਪਣਾ ਲਿਆ ਇੰਟਰਨਲਾਈਜ਼ ਕਰ ਲਿਆ ਸੋ ਹੁਣ ਸਵਾਲ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਲੜਾਈ ਕੋਈ ਛੋਟੀ ਮੋਟੀ ਲੜਾਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਪੂਰੇ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਦੀ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡੀ ਲੜਾਈ ਹੈ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇਹ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਨੇ ਜੋ ਕੁਝ ਇੰਟਰਨਲਾਈਜ਼ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੈ ਸਕਾਫਤੀ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਆਈਡੀਓਲੋਜੀਕਲੀ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਉਹਦੇ ਪੌਣੇ 200 ਸਾਲ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਨੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਅੰਗਰੇਜ਼ ਦਾ ਕਲੋਨੀਅਲਿਜ਼ਮ ਉਹਦੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਦੀ ਐਸਟੈਬਲਿਸ਼ਮੈਂਟ ਯੂਪੀ ਦੀ ਅਸ਼ਰਾਫੀਆ ਇਸਲਾਮ ਔਰ ਨਜ਼ਰੀਆ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਨੂੰ ਇਕੱਠਾ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਭੁਲੇਖਾ ਉਹ ਇਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਭੁਲੇਖੇ ਬੜੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਨੇ ਜਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਪੰਜਾਬੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਕਬੂਲ ਕੀਤਾ ਇਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕਿ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਇੱਕ ਤਕੜੀ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਦੇ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੇ ਮੈਜੋਰਿਟੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਨ ਬੰਗਾਲੀ ਸਨ ਲੇਕਿਨ ਇੱਕ ਤਕੜੇ ਸਨ ਫੌਜ ਔਰ ਉਰਦੂ ਸਪੀਕਿੰਗ ਨਾਲ ਮਿਲ ਕੇ ਅਫਸਰਸ਼ਾਹੀ ਫੌਜ ਇੱਕ ਤਕੜੇ ਸਨ ਸੋ ਇਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਇਹ ਡੋਮੀਨੈਂਟ ਪੋਜੀਸ਼ਨ ਚਲੇ ਗਿਆ ਸੋ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਮਫਾਦਾਤ ਨੇ ਹਮ ਇੱਕ हैं जी कि बलोचिस्तान भी जाके डोमिसाइल बनाना है हम एक हैं सिंध जाके डोमिसाइल बनाना है उत्थे भी जाके नौकरी लेनी है सो कहने का मतलब है एक ठोस मफादात ने पंजाबियों के ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਨੂੰ ਰੋਕਦੇ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਆਈਡੈਂਟੀਟੀ ਨੂੰ ਰੋਕਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਆਪਣੀ ਆਈਡੈਂਟੀਟੀ ਨੂੰ ਮੰਨਣ ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਪੰਜਾਬੀਆਂ ਦਾ ਇਹ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਦੀ ਫੈਡਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਸਟੇਕ ਹੋਲਡਰ ਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਸੀਰੀ ਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਹਿੱਸੇਦਾਰ ਨੇ ਬਾਕੀ ਹਿੱਸੇਦਾਰ ਹੋਰ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਇਕੱਲੇ ਮਾਲਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਨੇ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਦੇ ਲੇਕਿਨ ਹੁਣ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਸਮਝ ਲਿਆ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਮੁਸਲਮਾਨ ਹਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨੀ ਹਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਮਾਲਕ ਇਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਜ਼ੁਬਾਨ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਕਾਫਤ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਸੋ ਕਹਿਣ ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਇਹ ਬੜਾ ਗੰਭੀਰ ਸਮੱਸਿਆ ਹੈ ਸਿੰਪਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਇਸੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਇਹਦਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਵਾਜ਼ੇ ਨਤੀਜਾ ਫੌਰੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਨਿਕਲਦਾ ਇਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਲੰਬੀ ਸਟਰਗਲ ਹੈ ਪਿਛਲੇ 70 ਸਾਲ ਤੋਂ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਮੁਕਾਮ ਤੇ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਹੁਣ ਨਵਾਏ ਵਕਤ ਜਾਂ ਹੋਰ ਕੋਈ ਅਖਬਾਰ ਜਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਰਿਸਾਲਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਦਾ ਨਾਂ ਲੈਂਦਾ ਮੁਸ਼ਤਾਕ ਆਦਮ ਨੂੰ ਗੱਦਾਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦਾ ਏਜੰਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਵਗਰਨਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਜਵਾਨ ਸਾਂ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦੇ ਏਜੰਟ ਸਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਸੋਵੀਅਤ ਯੂਨੀਅਨ ਦੇ ਏਜੰਟ ਸਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਸੋ ਇਹ ਇੱਕ ਬੜੀ ਆਹਿਸਤਾ ਹੋਣ ਵਾਲੀ ਸਟਰਗਲ ਹੈ ਇਹਦਾ ਸਿਆਸੀ ਪਹਿਲੂ ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਔਰ ਸਕਾਫਤੀ ਪਹਿਲੂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਚੇਤੇ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਤਸਵੀਰ ਅੱਗੇ ਨਾਲੋਂ ਬਿਹਤਰ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ ਮਸਲਨ ਆਪਣਾ ਜ਼ਾਹਿਦ ਹਸਨ ਨੇ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਲਮਸ ਤੋਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਇਹ ਤੇ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਆਪਸ਼ਨ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਉਂਦੇ ਹੋਣਗੇ ਇੰਸਟੀਚਿਊਟ ਹੈ ਇੱਥੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਫੈਡਰਲ ਚਾਰਟਰ ਇੰਸਟੀਚਿਊਟ ਆਫ ਆਰਟ ਐਂਡ ਕਲਚਰ ਉਹ 2 ਸਾਲ ਤੋਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਮੈਂਡੇਟਰੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਲਾਜ਼ਮੀ ਮਜ਼ਮੂਨ ਸਭ ਸਕੂਲ ਸਭ ਤਾਲਿਬ ਇਲਮ
ਬਹੁਤ ਅੱਛਾ
ਸਭ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਠਾਨ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟ ਵੀ ਨੇ ਸਿੰਧੀ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟ ਵੀ ਨੇ और नॉर्दर्न एरिया के स्टूडेंट भी ने इस वास्ते कि पॉलिसी के तौर पे पाकिस्तानी जुबाना लाजमी करार दी गई है कि वो जुबान
सर इदारा माफी रिपीट करना है इदारा दोबारा रिपीट करना है
इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ आर्ट एंड कल्चर यदि प्रिंसिपल ने अपना साजिदा बंदल एक्स प्रिंसिपल नेशनल कॉलेज ऑफ आर्ट्स ये ट्रीट कारपोरेशन यदि मेजर स्टेक होल्डर है और वाइस चांसलर साजिदा बंदल ने वो लाजमी है उठे और पूरी फैकल्टी है कहने का मतलब ये है कि असी ये सारी गंभीर मसला है इनू ये बड़ा पेचीदा मसला है इसनू सारे इनू सिंपलीफाई नहीं करना चाहिए कोशिश करनी चाहिए कि सारे पहलुओं को समझा जाए फिर अपने अपने शोबे दे विच फिर वो पूरी तस्वीर साडे कोल होएगी ना अपने अपने शोबे दे विच वो काम करन दी जरूरत है ये नहीं है कि सिर्फ कोई सियासी काम या सिर्फ सकाफती काम की जरूरत है हर काम की जरूरत है जुबान की बहाली वास्ते सकाफत की बहाली वास्ते पंजाब विच हर तरह के काम की जरूरत इत्थे किताब लिखण की भी जरूरत है कोई दोस्त ने जिहड़े कि दानिशवरी करते हैं वो भाई दानिशवरी तो बगैर भी कदे तहरीकां होईयां ने कदे दानिशवरी तो बगैर भी किसी कल्चर किसी जुबान का कोई मुस्तकबिल होया उन्हां जुबानां दे मुस्तकबिल है जिन्हां च दानिशवरी हुंदी है दानिशवरी भी जरूरी है किताबां भी जरूरी ने तर्जुमा भी जरूरी है रिसाले जरूरी ने मीडिया बहुत जरूरी है पॉलिटिक्स जरूरी है सो कहने का मतलब है कि पूरी एक तस्वीर साढ़े ज़हन च होनी चाहिए है उस तो बाद असीं अपने अपने शोबे दे जिथे भी काम कर सकते हैं कोई अच्छा एडिटर है कोई अच्छा लिखारी है कोई अच्छा पोलिटिकल एक्टिविस्ट है फिर वो सारे कोआर्डिनेट करने सब फिर तो कोई शक्ल मतलब है बनेगी लेकिन महज ख्वाहिश की बुनियाद पर नहीं बनेगी सो मेरे कहने बहुत गल्लां ने लेकिन हुण मतलब ये है कि मेरा ख्याल ज़्यादा गुफ्तगू की फैलानी है इस वास्ते सानू थोड़ा जिहा ਸਮਝਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਐਕਚੁਅਲ ਪੋਲਿਟਿਕਸ ਹੈ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸਮਝਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ। ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਗੱਲ ਵੀ ਹੋਈ ਸੀ, ਮਸਲਨ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਹੈ ਇੱਕ ਇੱਥੇ ਪਿਲਾਗ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਕਾਨਫਰੰਸ ਸੀ, ਪਰਵੇਜ਼ ਰਸ਼ੀਦ ਉਦੋਂ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਸਨ, ਤੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਗੱਲ ਹੋਈ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਸੈਕਟਰੀ ਔਰ ਇਹ ਉਹ ਔਰ ਇਸ ਕਿਸਮ ਦੇ ਲੋਕ ਬੁਲਾਏ ਸਨ ਕਿ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕੀ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ, ਤੇ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਹੋਈਆਂ, ਇਹ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਇਹ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਇਹ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ। ਤੇ ਉਹ ਮੈਂ ਪਰਵੇਜ਼ ਹੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਦੋਸਤ ਨੇ 70s ਤੋਂ, ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਯਾਰ ਪਰਵੇਜ਼ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਕੀ ਦੱਸੋ ਨਾ, ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ। ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਯਾਰ ਕੋਈ 5000 ਦਾ ਜਲੂਸ ਕੱਢ ਕੇ ਵਿਖਾਓ ਨਾ, ਨਜ਼ਰ ਤੇ ਆਓ ਕਿਧਰੇ, ਤਾਂ ਸੁਣੀ ਜਾਣੀ ਹੈ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਮਝਦੇ ਹੋ ਕਿ ਇੱਥੇ ਬਹਿ ਕੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਗੱਲ ਸੁਣੀ ਜਾਏਗੀ? ਨਹੀਂ ਸੁਣੀ ਜਾਣੀ। ਬਾਹਰ ਨਿਕਲੋ, ਸੜਕ ਤੇ ਆਓ, ਵਿਖਾਓ ਜਲਵਾ, ਪੋਲੀਟੀਕਲ ਐਕਸ਼ਨ ਕਰੋ ਨਾ, ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਫਿਰ ਫੈਸਲੇ ਕਰਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਜ਼ਰ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਨਾਬ ਇਹ ਹਕੀਕਤ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਚਾਹ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਕਹਿਣ ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਆਰਡੀਨੇਟ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰਤ ਹੈ। ਸਿਆਸੀ ਪਹਿਲੂ ਸਾਡਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਕਮਜ਼ੋਰ ਹੈ। ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਕੋਈ ਸਿਆਸਤਦਾਨ ਐਸਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਉਹਦੀ ਤਹਿਰੀਕ ਦੀ। ਅੱਛਾ ਦੇਖੋ, ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਦਾ ਹੱਕ ਸਿਰਫ ਸਾਡੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਦਾ ਮਸਲਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ। ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਲੋਕ ਬੋਲੀ ਹੈ, ਮਾਂ ਬੋਲੀ ਤੋਂ ਹੀ ਵੱਧ ਇਹ ਲੋਕ ਬੋਲੀ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਆਵਾਮ ਦੀ ਬੋਲੀ ਹੈ, ਹਜ਼ਾਰਾਂ ਸਾਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਆਵਾਮ ਦੀ ਬੋਲੀ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਬੋਲੀ ਦਾ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਅਸਲ 'ਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਲੋਕ ਹੱਕ ਦਾ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਕਿਸੇ ਲੁਕਾਈ ਨੂੰ ਉਹਦੀ ਜ਼ੁਬਾਨ ਖੋਹ ਲੈਣਾ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡਾ ਜ਼ੁਲਮ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜ਼ੁਬਾਨ ਤੋਂ ਬਗੈਰ ਕੋਈ ਬੰਦਾ ਔਰ ਕੋਈ ਵਸੀਅਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦਾ। ਸੋ ਜ਼ੁਬਾਨ ਸੋਚਣ ਦਾ ਇਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨੀ, ਅਸੀਂ ਲੋਕ ਹੱਕ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨੀ। ਸੋ ਇਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਇਸ ਸਾਰੀ ਤਸਵੀਰ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਗੁਜ਼ਾਰਿਸ਼ ਸਿਰਫ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜ਼ੇਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੱਖੀਏ, ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਕੁਸ਼ਤੀਆਂ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਸਾਰੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਜ਼ੇਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੱਖੀਏ। थैंक यू।
बहुत आला।
Now, see, in the first view, this Duffer is saying that people, that he says that Urdu was imposed upon us by, quoting the history in 1949. And he says people couldn't, or they didn't oppose it. Now, one could ask to such Duffer that where the writers were, where the, those thinkers of Punjabi were, gone. Because thinkers or writers are the ones who always, bring awareness among masses against any brutality, and they always mobilize them against it. So the very thing I mentioned in the earlier, that these writers and these Punjabi thinkers, they rather served the exploiters. They served their agendas, and they, since the imposition of this alien dirt language Urdu, they never opposed it, nor they ever demanded for their fundamental rights. So these writers and thinkers, Punjab based writers and thinkers, I even dislike to call them Punjabi, because the ones who are against their own motherland and mother tongue, how could they be termed as Punjabis? So they rather opposed the imposition of Punjabi in Punjab. And you could, if you go through their previous writings, and in the latest one, Dr. Ishtiaq is one of them who supports the imposition of, the introduction of Urdu, or the going on the medium of Urdu medium. He rather supports it. And like him previously, almost all the by leaving some exemptions, all the majority of them, they supported the Urdu and its agenda. Now, in the second and third phase, as whole, he says that it was PPPP. It was Bhutto who introduced, the native languages first of all, and who supported it. He doesn't know. He is not mentioning here, or he is, lacking to understand that it was actually the Sindhi thinker or Sindhi writer like G.M. Sayyid or Rasul Baksh, later on Rasul Baksh Palejo and scores others who mobilized their nation against state oppression like Bengalis. So though their struggle, in fact, was the reason which compelled Bhutto, the stooge of establishment. Bhutto himself appeared with the socialist, slogan, and he had thousands of acres of land in his private in his own name. So he just used that slogan besides Islam as well. And he not only deceived the both socialism or socialist sentiment, but also he used Islam in a very sophistical manner. Even mullayat like these muktums and peers, they would accept him as their mentor. So that Bhutto in fact was compelled by Sindhis to introduce Sindhi in Sindh, but at the same time he equally provided Urdu a room, in not only in Sindh but also retained it in Punjab, and for his own vested interest, for his own rule, for his own vote, and he continued he supported the hegemony of UPITians by doing so. It was Bhutto who, in fact, carved out, who laid the foundation for carving out provinces out of Sindh. Because if he only introduced Sindhi without giving any room to Urdu, these Urdu speakings and whosoever outsider were willing to settle permanently in Sindh, they will have to assimilate in Sindhis by literally adopting their language and culture. So there won't be any ethnic or linguistic division in urban and rural Sindh within 3 to 4 decades, because everyone would have to assimilate with Sindhis by accepting their natural language and culture. But he gave the room to Urdu, and the result is this, that the grandson of Bhutto, Bilawal, he doesn't know a single word of Sindhi. So this is the logical and scientific conclusion of, or the product of that insane decision, unwise decision, or rather I would say criminal decision. So this Bhutto, this myopic asshole sitting on sitting there portraying himself as a Punjabi thinker, doesn't know that in fact it is rather Bhutto who lost that opportunity for laying the foundation of national languages in the Pakistani Federation. And this was in fact Bengali struggle which prompted Sindhis to do so. So this duffer, he doesn't know that, and he is just simply trying to play the galleries by saying so. Further, he tries to make some by introducing some by narrating some names. He tries to uh, uh, leave an impression that as if Punjabi national movement was launched pretty earlier by those people who is implying towards. But in reality, it was not the case. Sharif Kunjai or Dr. Fakir Muhammad Fakir were no doubt very good writers, but it was their a profession. They were they were professionally very good writers, but they were not like those thinkers or those nationalists who could have challenged the state or its flunkies against against Punjab, whatever they were doing. So this attempt of this gentleman is uh, you know sophistry to make the Punjabi youth and new generation impressed that they may pay respect to these people. But the reality is quite opposite. This moron again, speaks quite odd that if there is no one speak to Punjabi, how could Punjabi be lifted? Now, he is completely, overlooking the, the state oppression, the state terrorism against Punjab and Punjabi. Because if state is suppressing it, and doesn't let any Punjabi media emerge, nor state allows Punjabi to be the part of integral part of curricula. So how could one expect from a kid to take interest in Punjabi? Let me tell you, despite all state oppressive measures, pretty number of kids used to select Punjabi as their optional subject because it was their mother language, mother tongue, and they would secure huge marks in competitive exams, and it was quite beneficial for them. But in the recent reply which we received in Supreme Court from Punjab government, in the scheme of studies, state even mentioned that the worrisome of state could be seen in that line that state mentions in the new scheme of studies that for Punjabi and other dialects of Punjabi which they have introduced as separate languages, no though the marks which a student would get, those won't be included in the total marks. So just imagine the fear of state, the people running the affairs of state, they are this much frightened from the Punjabi because they know that if Punjabi takes its roots back, they would topple. They would it would bring awareness among Punjabis masses, and they would remove these exploiter from their positions. Their rule would be their last day of rule. So that's why they haven't included. So this asshole is saying here quite hilarious that if one doesn't read Punjabi, how could Punjabi be uplifted? He is completely overlooking the ground reality. If I may explain it in another way, that if a boy is kept handicapped, if the limbs are chopped of a kid, if the boy is made retarded, and he is asked to take part in a competition with the normal guys, normal kids. So, would it be just for that kid? Would it be a just competition? Never. So, this gentleman is not ready to look over there, and he is just putting the full blame on common Punjabis that they don't read Punjabi. On the next point, he says that it was the political decision of the then government in 1849 who replaced Punjabi with Urdu. So my question is on the same, I mean, point is quite valid, that where the thinkers and writers, Punjabi writers were, in fact, were they, sleeping? Were they in slumber? That they didn't raise any voice like Bengalis and Sindhis. So this is what is quite objectionable from our side, that these people take the political matters somewhat like unconcerned for the writers and thinkers. Politics is associated with language. If language is associated with the fate of any nation, the fundamental rights of any nation, the existence and the self-respect of any nation. So how could we analyze or see them separately? In another point, he says another funny thing, that Punjabis have been busy in exploiting in with the UPITians and their exploitation. He explains like they make domiciles of other provinces. What a stupid logic it is. The fundamental question is this, that by getting proficiency in Urdu, how could a person get a clerical job even? Urdu has nothing to do with the power controlling matters in this federation even. So this is Urdu has nothing to do with power corridors and power at all. So this sounds an unscientific point. It is quite strange that a person is talking about using power by through Urdu in Pakistan. Urdu, and what to do with the domicile in other provinces, whether those provinces give domicile to those people who could speak good Urdu? No, even those people who don't know Urdu, they have much more chance to get those domiciles. And those people, I mean the other provinces, they have been cancelling the domiciles of non-natives, because they have kept a strict check on outsiders, and they always cancel the domicile, they challenge the domicile, and they rusticate the person who makes bogus domiciles. So they are challenged. But what these assholes have done, these Punjab based asshole thinkers Punjabi thinkers have done so far in Punjab. If you talk to them that 90 more than 9 million Pathans are running the business from smaller to larger businesses in Punjab. Around 95 million Baloch, ethnic Baloch and Sindhis are busy in against Punjab's unity, and they are trying to divide Punjab, and they are busy in Punjab activities against Punjab. So they get afraid, and they say they won't listen to you. They would term you rather chauvinist. Just imagine, lamb, terms another lamb a chauvinist. So, because the other lamb objects that the wolves are, killing us one by one, they are plundering us. So let's fight them together. And you are our leader. You are self-proclaimed thinker and leader of ours. So why don't you, raise your voice? So they get offended by listening it, and they rather try to keep the voice of that other lamb shut. So this is the timidity of these so called thinkers. In another point, this stupid soul, he says that the known league, I mean the N League media minister, information minister, he, he is probably trying to show his links with this ruling elite, that he was his friend. So he asked him to bring 5,000 Punjabis on streets. This duffer didn't question him, rather, that if that minister said this idiot idiocy, he spoke this idiocy, this thinker should have smacked his face by questioning that, are you not the ones who have been ruling on this province for around 40 years? So who is to blame? We or you? You are the ones who had to see the benevolence of ours. So you are asking us rather to bring 5,000 men on. We can't bring 5 men on streets, because you have turned us so much this much retarded that everyone is busy in his own survival. So what the nonsense you are speaking, you are vomiting out. But this person is himself is a flunky of theirs, so how could he question that rascal minister? In the end, he says that he claims that now the change could be seen, and earlier we used to be termed as Indian or US Russian agent. Now we are not. The state has changed its course. This idiot is trying to take the credit of whole Punjabi struggle for the last 10 years. In this last decade, the Punjabi youth, the unsung people who had been busy in defending in their mother language and motherland, and who are trying to bring awareness on their relentless effort is trying to bring enlightenment in Punjabi masses, and they are switching or adhering with their nation, like a unified nation. This pimp is trying to take the credit of that. His whole track record rather shows opposite of it, and they are the people like his whole Fred mafia. If we see that this Najam Hussain Sayyed and Ahmad Salim and Maqsood Saqib, they are the enemies of Punjab. Ahmad Salim clearly supports the division of Punjabi and Punjab, and so do they. So how could he such burglars claim the now claim the leadership of Punjab and Punjabi? They are in fact the prime most enemies, as I mentioned earlier in the beginning of the talk and in the previous talk as well, that they are the prime most enemies of the Punjab and Punjabi. And they are now trying to, because the whole effort has been made by the Punjabi youth, the unsung Punjabi youth. These are the very people, these are the very stooges of establishment in Punjabi garb, Punjabi mask, who instead of bringing people of Lehenda Punjab and the trespassed or occupied Punjab in KPK together, close together, they always associated them with the linked them with the Indian Punjabi and Sikhras. And as I mentioned, their pages are all pages are hashtagged with those Sikhras and those people for the sake of few pennies. But here multiple pages from the southern, northern and the trespassed regions of Punjab are being operated on social media. You can't see these people, these stooges, the pages, the single page of these stooges is not linked with those pages, and that's why that this benefits to the rulers on the ruling us on through this state. So and on the other hand, this gulf among Punjabis is widening due to the criminal negligence of these stooges, and they, instead of linking themselves with those pages who are operating in northern and southern Punjab and from Punjab in KPK, they simply align themselves with the Indian Punjabi and Khalistani Sikhras. So this is that crime which every Punjabi, every honest and sincere and dedicated Punjabi who is busy in defending their motherland and mother language and nation, they must keep an eye on it, and they must take the leadership back from these stooges, because they don't deserve to lead you. They don't deserve to lead Punjab and Punjabi. My dear youth, Punjabi youth, you are the ones who have to lead Punjab and Punjabi. So you please organize yourself, discipline yourself in a better way, and don't let these flunkies, these stooges lead you. You are the one who has to lead, and they are completely oblivion to you. They don't know who Riaz Syal is from Jhang, who Aqib Satyanvi is just few of them, these shopkeepers came to know about Aqib Satyanvi, and they tried to hijack Aqib Satyanvi, who is a very honest and down to earth Punjabi, and who you know mm, very quietly and dedicatedly devoted himself for the Punjab and Punjabi. They even don't know about the other multiple, Punjabis like Malik Ada Khan Saab, I mean, who was trying to paint to to be painted by the very Sindhi Baloch Pathan settlers with Saraiki. And they don't know about other like the youth from and the writers and thinkers from Khushab, from Atak, like Tokir Chugtai, or some Dr. Wajid Hussain Joya, and similarly Nasir Hussain Khandu, Indiji Khan, and multiple others who whom they don't know about, and they are trying to you know take the credit of all, and they whatever they portray, whatever they present, that has nothing to do with Punjabi. So this is all which I had to share with you. Please do go through it with all the references, and you yourself try to dig out the reality. I have just given you a food for thought, and if there is any question, you may ask me. And I hope that in the coming time, the true Punjabi leadership would emerge from the Punjabi youth, which would not only, stand for the stand and speak for the fundamental rights of Punjab, Punjabi, and Punjabis, but also have a but also will have at the same wavelength with the other nationalist entities like Pathan, Sindhis, and Baloch, and they would together bring peace and prosperity in this federation by struggling for it in their own national regions. Thank you.